So in today's gospel, Jesus is talking about why he's come into the world. And we actually have one of the most famous gospel passages ever, right? That's on like every single sports sign. For God so loved the world, he sent his only son, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's interesting, really, right? There's a lot of beautiful lines in there about God sending his son and how Jesus doesn't come into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world. And it's basically talking about the descent of God into the mess and the dryness and the barrenness of our humanity. There's an interesting line in there when Jesus says, and this is the verdict, that people prefer darkness to light, that people reject the coming of Christ. And we're all guilty of that. And I think one of the reasons it's easy to be guilty of that is because it's easier a lot of the time to prefer darkness to light, right? Because when the light comes, when the sun rises, things become exposed that we might not want other people to see, least of all God. Right? Sometimes when the light comes, the sun rises, we see stuff that's like, it's hard and it's barren and it's just harsh, and we don't want that to be seen. It's a lot easier to pretend in the dark, right? But that's not what we're invited to. That's not what we're called to. And as the sun rises, as the light begins to permeate more and more into our life, even when it exposes barren places, that's okay. Why? Because that's exactly why Christ has come. That's exactly why he's come. He actually enters into that barrenness himself. He enters into that emptiness so that we can know his presence, so that we can experience his saving grace and his saving love. So this Lent, how are you doing with that? Are you allowing the light of God to expose dark places in your heart? Are you allowing yourself to acknowledge those spaces that feel barren, that feel empty? Are you owning those before God? Are you entering into the desert? Are you stepping into the longing?